Seek more details about the scope of the Chinese surveillance balloon program. What's the U.S. policy if we detect new balloons heading towards the country? Is it to shoot them down before they enter U.S. territory, or what is it?
We got this question last time. It's a hypothetical question, so I'm not going to get into hypotheticals. Clearly, every event is going to be very different. As you've heard reported, there were 3 balloons during the Trump administration that were not shut down, right? That were able to move out of the U.S. continental air. And this last one clearly was something different, but I'm certainly not going to get into how the intelligence community or the Pentagon moves forward with this program and how they assess. Just not going to get into details on any hypotheticals, which is not possible to do.
Was the president surprised by the Republican response to his allegations about Social Security and Medicare cuts during his State of the Union address?
The president actually responded to this a little bit yesterday during his interview, and he said, look, it wasn't all Republicans. It was just a certain sector of the Republican Party, the extreme, and he understands that, look, he has said, especially after the midterms, he's ready to work across the aisle to work with Republicans to get things done for the American people. That's what they want to see. They want us to put aside political warfare and actually deliver. And he wants to build on the progress that he's made, the economic progress. You heard him talk about that at the State of the Union. He spoke directly to the American people. And he has an economy that we believe, and the data shows that works, building an economy, growing an economy from the bottom up, middle out, not believing and not doing the trickle-down economy, the trickle-down economy that we've seen for decades upon decades. But at the same time, he is not going to shy away of calling out Republicans who have been very clear and deliberate by putting, their plans during the midterms about how they were going to cut down or get rid of or sunset Medicare and Social Security. And that is something that he is proud to do. That is something that he is proud to fight for. And you'll hear more from him today in Florida. Okay.
Senator Rick Scott has responded, essentially saying that the president should resign. He put out an ad in Florida accusing the president of cheating on his taxes and gutting Medicare. That's his response. What's the White House response to?
Response. And like CNN's fact check just 2 nights ago verified, as the president said, Scott's proposals would sunset all federal legislation, including Medicare and Social Security. That has been fact-checked by one of your colleagues here, network here, CNN. Speaking of fact checks, though, Senator Scott's attack on us for lowering drug costs has been roundly debunked. Senator Scott's ad only cements that congressional Republicans are targeting Medicare, repealing the AARP-backed Inflation Reduction Act. Scott's now calling for would be the largest cut to Medicare benefits in decades. Every time Rick Scott opens his mouth, he proves the president's point. He doubles down. He doesn't step away. He actually doubles down, as he did this morning. The man who got rich overseeing the biggest Medicare fraud in history, let's not forget that, is protesting too much once again. So I'll leave it there.
Karine, a couple more on China that are hopefully less hypothetical. Do you think the partisan response of Republicans bashing the administration for its handling of it sort of plays to China's hands here?
Look, I'm just going to keep it really simple and basically repeat what the president said. And he said that he was very clear, make no mistake about it. If China threatens our sovereignty, we will act and protect our country. And that's what he did. He made sure that we protected Americans. We made sure that, remember when that balloon was on its path, we were able to collect sensitive, secure information from that balloon. We were also able to protect any national security sensitive information that was on the ground as it was moving on its path, and when it was safe, where the Pentagon felt like American public, the American citizens would be safe and protected, the president ordered to shoot it down. That's what we did. That's what a commander-in-chief does, and we responded very clearly, and we believe, the president believes, that we will respond when needed.
China seems to be digging in on this, though. So should we expect that there are further consequences for China for this program, which you guys are, continuously briefing us on? Or do you want to sort of put that balloon episode behind you and, you shot it down and this is sort of like the end of this episode, or should we expect more actions
So I'll
against
say
the
this:
Chinese?
we, the United States, sent a clear message to the PRC that it's a violation of our sovereignty was unacceptable by shooting down the balloon, protecting our own sensitive intelligence, and maximizing our ability to track the balloon and recover the payload to get more information on the PRC's program. The U.S. will also explore taking action against PRC entities linked to the PLA that supported the balloon's incursion into U.S. airspace. We will also look at broader efforts to expose and address the PRC's larger surveillance activities that pose a threat to our national security and to our allies and partners as well. As we saw the second balloon over Central and South America that they just acknowledged, China, has no explanation for why they violated the airspace of Central and South America countries. The PRC's program will only continue to be exposed, making it harder for PRC to use this program, and that's how we're going to move forward.
Okay, one more on China. The president obviously called out Xi Jinping during the State of the Union, and again last night in this interview, also said China has enormous challenges. You wouldn't want to trade with him as a leader. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says his comments are highly irresponsible and violate basic diplomatic protocols. Do you have a response to that?
I will just say what the president has said before, and especially during the State of the Union. We make no mistake about it. If China threatens our sovereignty, we will act and protect our country. I'm just going to leave it there.
Without asking about a specific hypothetical trip, administration officials have been clear, though, that they want to elevate the moment of 1 year since the Russian invasion. Can you talk about what the process has been in preparing for that, which is just a couple weeks away?
As I've mentioned before, we've had internal conversations about how we are going to commemorate the 1 year of Russia's brutal war against Ukraine. And as you have seen and you've heard from the president, especially when the President Zelensky was here, we continued our strong support for the people of Ukraine as they are fighting this brutal war. And we're going to continue our security assistance as long as it takes. Don't have anything to share beyond that, but that is something that we're looking into, as you mentioned, Phil. And the president just answered this question when he was asked on the South Lawn as he was boarding Marine One, and he said he just hasn't made a decision yet. So I'll leave it to what the president said.